And it even came to times when you had to exchange the better for what was best. Because the good can be the enemy of the better. And the better can be the enemy of the best. If we don't get clear on the dream as to what we really want to accomplish. So first we develop the dream, then the dream develops us. Okay, but what happens? Beyond the elephant stakes in society as adults, see, when we share somebody the dream to give them a hope of a better future and the hope of a healthy, active lifestyle, they get their hope up. But then, once they leave us, guess what they do? They go back into that negative, pessimistic, crying, complaining world and friends that are out there. See? The ones on the left side of the list. See, that we talked about on Tuesday. And so we deal with our family, our friends, our fatigue, and fear, and failure. I tell you, after I talked to my roommates, and my roommate got on the product, his girlfriend got on the product, and then her roommate and the other girl, and then that girl's dad, and I'm thinking, man, this is just unbelievable, right? So then I got to tell mom and dad, man, they're going to love this. This will be great because they've had a wonderful life, but man, nothing compared to what they could have, right? Compared to what, right? And so I'm thinking, man, I got to tell mom and dad. So I drive down to Orange County where I live now. And I tell my mom and dad about this, and my mom looks at me, and she goes, oh, Dennis. Dennis. Then don't you know those things don't work? Now, do you think my mother was trying to destroy my dream? No. See, my mom was simply trying to protect me. In the guise of protection, because she had failed at different attempts to work for herself. She didn't want me to go through the failure that she went through. She didn't want me to go through the pain that she went through. But that was her situation. That was whatever she was dealing with. See? So in the guise of protection, she said, no. Jim, you need to get a real job. Right? And I said, I don't know, Mom. I said, people seem to be getting results. I'm waking up awake, and I'm loving this stuff. She said, Dennis, you need to get a real job. Well, I said, okay. So I wait. I'm a little disappointed, but I've seen a little bit too much results already to let that destroy my dream. Fortunately. Now, 23 pounds, 2 inches later, I go home. I go down, hey, Mom, what's going on? She says, my God, what happened? And I said, oh, Mom, I'm just looking for a new job. She said, I don't care what you're doing, give me that stuff. You see, all of a sudden, she began to see the reality of the dream, of what a good, healthy, active lifestyle can produce and create in a human body. You see, I go to my friends. My friends look, they said, Bell, have you lost it? Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? Bell, you hate sales. And now you're going to sell skinny powder? Are you nuts? Now, guys, my friends were not trying to destroy my dream. They were trying to appeal to my logic, my reason. Guys, dreams aren't logical. Dreams aren't reasonable. If they were logical and reasonable, they wouldn't be dreams, they'd be goals. Dreams are beyond logic. Dreams are beyond reason. That's why they're dreams. They're bigger than we are. They're beyond us. If your dream isn't beyond where you are right now, you got to get a new dream. Now, and I love where, you heard this weekend where we've got several different times where we've got to keep things in balance. We heard it from the corporate staff. We heard it from the team. Right? And sometimes we want to go out here and we want to work 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Gang, I'm telling you, it's a mistake. Vince Lombardi, brilliant coach, football coach, American football, said fatigue makes cowards of us all and causes us to become negative introspective, and pessimistic. You see, you got to take time to rest. Jim Rohn used to say, Jim Rohn said you got to follow the 6-in-1 theory. Right? It's been around for thousands of years. You work 6, you rest 1. Guys, that's not an option for leaders. Now maybe for other people, but for leaders, it's not an option. You got to take time off. You got to balance it out. I think it was Bart was talking about the balance with the family or something, you know. But I mean, so you've got to do that. One of my mentors said, you either come apart from your business or your business will come apart. See, so we can't work ourselves. By the way, can you imagine trying to recruit somebody? Say, listen, we've got this phenomenal opportunity. We're changing the world. You know, I work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. Haven't had a vacation in 3.5 years. You know, I mean, it's absolutely incredible. I work from 6 in the morning until 11 at night. I mean, listen, you got to come and join me. You see what I'm saying, guys? Listen, we got to have balance. Listen, it will come. It will happen. It will. Some people have fears. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if it doesn't? See? I mean, it's maybe failure. Listen, gang, I failed my way to success. The only reason I can be up here and share a lot of these thoughts with you because I've failed at so many of the other things. I can tell you exactly what not to do. Listen, I know everything not to do. I've done it. How many of you guys have done it? Yeah, see, listen, it's a part of the process. They say the road to success is paved with failures. We talked about Thomas Edison here. He said, you know, it was over 1,000 failures. But he said, I don't call them failures. Failure is only failure if you don't learn from it. But he learned from each failure, so he called it a lesson. He had 1,000 lessons to be able to create the light bulb. You see, again, it's just perspective. It's our perspective. So, how do we create the dreams? It all begins with the imagination. The imagination. Did you ever stop to think that the light bulb's up here, the plane I'm going to get on tomorrow morning, the telephones that we all use to talk to people around the world, you know, the computers that we have, all the telephones that we talk about, all these different things that we have, do you realize that every single one of these things, computers, light bulbs, airplanes, telephones, they all have one thing in common. They all have a common denominator. You know what the common denominator of all these different things, television, cars, they all have one thing in common. They were, at one point in time, absolutely, unequivocally, zero doubt whatsoever, absolutely impossible. Impossible. Can you imagine 2,000 years ago, you say, hey, you're not even going to believe it, you know? See, there's that box over there, you go, you climb in that box, 3 hours later, you're on the other side of the world. Yeah, right. They bring over the white coat and send you away. You see, they weren't even within the realm of possibility. They weren't even in the realm of thinking. So how did the impossible become possible? It all begins with imagination. Napoleon Bonaparte, he said, imagination rules the world. And he just about did. Right? Imagination rules the world. Some other guy says imagination is more important than knowledge. More important than knowledge. Wait a minute, knowledge is power. Yeah, but he said imagination is more important than knowledge. What idiot said that? Some guy named Albert Einstein. Einstein says imagination is more important than knowledge. You know, he had a rule in his office, right? If he was busy working, no problem, come on in. But if he was just sitting there staring up into the sky, you do not enter. He was in the world of imagining. You see, it all begins with imagination. You know, the guy says, look at those birds. What if we could figure that out? See, the imagination, it's the what if. See, what if we can figure out how those birds fly? Have you ever seen those old videos where they actually put wings on their arms and they tried to do those, all the different things that they had tried to do to learn, figure out how to fly, right? What if we could figure that out? What if we figure those birds out? Hey, what if we could take that lightning in the sky? What if we could capture it, put it in a box, and then open it up at night when it gets dark and let the light out? What if we could figure that out? See? And it took a couple people. It took Ben Franklin to figure out, to see how that electricity works, right? How it could travel. Oh, it travels. See? And then Thomas Edison to figure it out, how to contain it. You see? What if we could, hello, 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 as we speak, yell across the valley? What if we could figure out how to send that across the mountain and not just across the valley? What if we could figure that out? Imagination. What if? See, it begins with the what if. And it begins to stimulate our thinking and get us to think about things in a different way. And there's always a different way. There's always two sides. Somebody's looking at this way, somebody's looking at this way. This is why all of us see things, different eye prints, see things from a different way, from a different perspective, from a different background. So therefore, it's all valuable. What if I could take all those eyes and put it together and figure this out? And that's where things can begin to happen. And imagination leads to inspiration. And if we could do it, that's it. You know something? I think maybe I can pursue this. And so now I'm inspired. Okay, I'm going to figure out how to fly. I'm going to figure it out. And we get the inspiration. That's the get up and go. See, this is why if you don't have a purpose, if you don't have a dream, it can be very difficult to get up in the morning. If you don't have a purpose, if you're just getting up for the drudgery of life, we don't get up with a lot of enthusiasm. We're the Thank God It's Friday group, right? I mean, try to get a kid up out of bed and go to school and take a test he hasn't studied for. Oh, Mom, I don't feel so good. I'm feeling really bad. I don't think I can. See? He's not real inspired. But now you say, hey, son, tomorrow we're going to get up and we're going to get on an airplane and we're going to Florida and we're going to Orlando and we're going to Disney World. Right? 3 o'clock in the morning. Bang, bang, bang. Mom, is it time yet? Are we ready? And they say, oh no, I'm much better now. Isn't it funny when we're inspired, when we've got a dream, when we've got something to look forward to, when we got something we can do that makes a difference, how easy it is to get up out of bed. See, it's amazing. So the inspiration leads to information. Okay, I got to gather the information. What do we know about this? Who else knows about this? Information, it's the gathering of knowledge. What books can I read? What seminars can I go to? What tapes can I listen to? What seminars can I attend? Who knows more about this than anybody else? I got to gather all the knowledge that I can. And when I gather that knowledge, right? Wow. Then what can I do? And then, once I've gathered the knowledge, I go from information to consultation. You see? Okay, I've done as much research as I can do on my own, but who knows more about this than anybody else? Who has more experience here than anybody else? See? Then I want to be able to talk with them. You see, why did they have Bart talk about the ambassador program and Brett talk about the AMP program? The map program. Why didn't they have Brett talk about, the ambassador and Bart talk about the map? Why not? Because you want to go to the best source possible. Now, if we go up to them individually and say, hey, listen, I really want to know about this ambassador program there, Bart. And he says, well, so what do you know so far? Oh, nothing. I just heard about it, so I thought I'd just come see.